Hello, everyone. My name is Ed O'Mara, and tonight I'm going to be drinking a lot of Balcones whiskey. I'm going to warn you now. I really, really like Balcones. I really, really like it. And I don't know what's going to happen tonight. There's a good chance that at some point during the evening, I will be taking off my shirt and screaming Balcones at the camera. There's a good chance of that. Just be prepared. I'm warning you now. There's a good possibility. I asked Erica if she wanted to come on and drink some Balcones with me. She declined. She said she was tired. I don't believe that. I think she knows that I tend to get a little crazy when it comes to Balcones. This has been your pre-stream warning. At this point, I'm not legally liable for anything that happens from here on out. Let's get into it. How is everyone? Good to be here on a Thursday night. This is exciting because we've got a bunch of Balcones to drink. Balcones! Yes. Yes, it's a good night. It's a good night to drink Balcones. And we're going to answer the question tonight, why is Texas whiskey just so goddamn good? Just so goddamn good. And Balcones in particular. So, before we get into that, what are all of you drinking and why is it Balcones? Because it should be. If it's not, go get some Balcones and drink it. All right, John Gunsel, that can be for tonight. AJ Lopez isn't late. You're right on time. Charles Ashworth, yeah, it's the double D. Brandon Knight, good to see ya. Whiskey Wookie, yeah, my man. Cheech Ardolino holding it down in the chat, doing that moderator thing. Love you, Cheech. You're awesome. Also, if you haven't already gone and subscribed to Whiskey Encore, which is Cheech's new channel, you need to go do that right this very second. You can take a break from me doing this intro bullshit. You can go subscribe to Cheech right the fuck now. Whiskey Encore. Cheech, go ahead and throw that up in the chat. Throw your own link up in the chat. Just spam that shit, man. You got my permission. Do it. Do it. Nick P. Balcones single malt. My man. Brandon Knight is doing E.H. Taylor barrel proof. Well, okay, that's fine too, I guess, if you don't have Balcones. Whiskey Wookie's got the Lineage. All right. AJ Lopez got that single malt in port. Got Texas rum. There you go, Cohen. That works too. I haven't actually had their rum, so yeah. Cheech. There you go. Go subscribe to Whiskey Encore. Show Cheech some love because he does great stuff. James Taylor, he's got the Balcones pot still. There you go. Oh, Don, I'm sorry. No Balcones in your town. I hope they come to your town very, very soon. Sugar Kitty just says, give us the spam. It's tasty. Runrev saying his favorite, True Blue, but the Brimstone is awesome. I like Brimstone a lot. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah. Gary White's on that Knob Creek. I support that entirely. Knob Creek 9, I support you. More people should be drinking Knob Creek. And, Brandon Knight does have that single malt. Break it open, man. Break it open. Wheels, he's got a single cask from Balcones. Ooh, I love that. 66%, my man. Who else is in here? I know I saw some other folks. John Gunsel, I already said. Sugar Kitty, I think I said. Spurrell, my man. Nick P, Gary White. Well, we got the whole cruise here. Wesley Zeller. Hey, there we go. My man Matt from over at Crusaders. There we go. All right, it's gonna be a good night. It's going to be a good night because we're going to drink a bunch of Balcones. Now, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't really have a plan for this stream. I don't really have a plan for I have an order I'm going to drink them in. I don't have a plan for how it's going to go or what I'm going to say or what I'm going to talk about. I don't have a plan for how long this is going to go. I usually try to keep this to an hour, but if it goes longer, that may happen. I don't know. I really don't have a plan for this stream. Also, I'm going to level with you guys. Me and Erica shot a video before this one, so it's coming out tomorrow. It's Cavalon. If you're interested in Cavalon Solist, that's coming out tomorrow. So I've already been drinking, and I shared some Balcones with some people at my work, so I may have had some there too. So this is going to get interesting. Let's talk about what is in these bottles. Eli Cook makes a good point. Do I usually have a plan? Very rarely. Scott Moody, I don't have any Froke. That's the one I wish I had here. Oh, that and Mirador. I wish I had Froke and Mirador. Don't have those, but we'll make do. We'll make do. All right. So, starting on my right, I guess your left. These are the Balcones we are tasting tonight. These are, first of all, it's available in Wisconsin now, which is fantastic and I love and I'm super excited about because I've just been buying them up and drinking them. I think I had to run out and get another bottle of Baby Blue because I think I drank all of the one I had. And I didn't realize until I got home from work, so I had to go back to work and buy some because obviously I had to have the Baby Blue on. So let's talk. First off, starting down the line, we got Baby Blue. We got pot still bourbon, Texas pot still bourbon. We got Lineage single malt. We've got #1 single malt, the original single malt. We've got Texas rye, 100 proof. I drank all of my cast strength rye. It's gone. It no longer exists. It's very sad. I wish I could have had more of that and had that on the show, but it's fantastic, and I drank it all, and it was delicious, and now it's gone. What are you going to do? Then we got a couple of special ones I've been hanging on to for a minute now. These were actually gifts from the Galladay. Some of you may know the Galladay. Josh Galladay, specifically, used to be on cast strength. He's no longer on cast strength. He's actually moved on to a better place. And by that, I mean he's in the exact same place. It's just that he's not on fucking cast strength. All right. But yes, they gave me a bunch of Texas whiskey back in the day, and I have been holding these samples for a special occasion. We finished off some of them, but I knew I needed to hold on to them for a little while. So we've also got Balcones Brujeria and Balcones Brimstone PX. Now, I don't have the base Brimstone, which I probably should have thought about and grabbed some Brimstone as well, but that's okay. We got the Brimstone PX. So, yes, I know. I know I'm throwing shade at the people who fluff this channel. Cast Strength, the official fluffer of the Rock Gut Review. Go subscribe to Cast Strength. They're great people. I love them. I love them. I love them. They're not the only people on at 7 Central anymore, though. There are so many people who are on Thursday nights. And we're all kind of overlapping at this point. It happens, you know. It happens. And I support all the channels. Go throw some likes on the people. If you're watching this stream right now, go throw likes on Drew P. I think Drew P's on right now as well. Go throw some likes on him. Lurk in one of us or watch the replay. Support WhiskeyTube, you guys. Go support all the channels. I know it's getting hard to watch everybody because, we're all on top of each other at this point. But, support all the channels. Love all of us. Because really, we got to grow this community. We got to get this community big. We got to branch out into the rest of YouTube like Roots. And slowly, we will consume YouTube. And all of YouTube will be whiskey. All right. let's get into this. So we're going to start off on this side, right over here. Yeah, Cohen makes a good point. Just float between the channels with open windows. That works too. Wait, so you're saying you have options? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't have to be here. You're not stuck. I know. Thank you, Cheech. Man, Cheech, you hold it down. You're a good guy. You're a good dude. All right. So Balcones is kind of the original Texas whiskey, right? And I originally, like, when I got into Balcones, when I started drinking Balcones, originally I was making fun of Josh Galladay and how much he loved it. And that's why I started, like, taking my shirt off and screaming Balcones. That started as a joke video back like 2 years ago on April Fool's Day, where I was making fun of the cast strength guys and I did the Balcones thing. Now, though, in an ironic twist of fate, the amount that he loves Balcones, I think, is less than the amount that I love Balcones. Like, he has moved on to other Texas whiskeys, and I have moved into Balcones. So, Vito Cortez says, we're talking whiskey, but damn, their cast strength rum is good. I haven't had it. Everyone tells me I need to have it. I've heard it so many times. I need to get some Balcones rum. But Balcones, kind of the original Texas whiskey, that's what they call themselves because they were the first one to pop up in Texas, first distillery after Prohibition, I guess. Maybe ever? No, probably just after Prohibition. Someone was distilling before Prohibition. And they are based out of, Waco? I think it's Waco. Because they sit on the Balcones Fault, right? The Balcones Fault is some tectonic plate that runs along Texas and, earthquakes and shite. But that gives its name to the whiskey, and it's super fun to say, Balcones! And the beautiful thing about Texas whiskey, for the uninitiated who haven't had Texas whiskey yet, is that the climate down there is so different from any other whiskey making region, right? Now, like any climate, any of that terroir is different, right? Any terroir is different, right? Like Minnesota is different from Wisconsin. Like we're pretty similar. Well, there's a little difference. Texas and to an extent, the other southwestern states are super unique compared to traditional whiskey making places. They're hot. They're super hot. They're very dry. They got long periods of heat. And that makes for some freaky, weird whiskey. And it's exciting and it's cool because nobody else has that climate. So nobody else can make whiskey quite like Texas. Man, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Oh, hey, Amy Bohm, good to see you coming in from Drums and Drams. Yeah, awesome. I should apply. I could always ask, hey, shit, they don't even have to pay me. Shit, I'll just pimp their whiskey. Just send me whiskey and I'll talk about it. I don't give a fuck. Lone Wanderer saying, yeah, life in the desert. Super hot days, cold nights, wild fluctuations in temp. And that heat is a super critical part of what makes Texas whiskey, Texas whiskey. Now, there is a counterpoint to that we can talk about later. It's like if you want to make something super old, then you got to try to contain that heat a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But for right now, let's get to drinking. So we're going to start out. Oh, Bourbon Neophyte is here. Thank you, Bourbon Neophyte. Glad you're here. We are going to start out with True Blue. Or now this is not True Blue. True Blue is the 50 proof. This is Baby Blue. This is their corn whiskey. So, corn whiskey, right? It has to be 80% corn. And the thing is, it has to be aged in used cooperage or uncharred oak. So you can toast a barrel, but you can't char it. Oh, yes. And thank you, Run Rev. It's made with blue corn, which that is something that's super cool about Texas distilleries right now, is that Texas distilleries are using a lot of locally grown Texas grain. And it's not just Balcones. It's also Iron Root. Iron Root is famous for that. I'm trying to think of who else. I think Tabacaro might have Texas stuff. Yeah. But yeah. And the thing is, with used cooperage, you would usually get less wood influence, right? New oak tends to give a lot of influence pretty quickly in terms of, like, you think about bourbon, you get a lot of new oak notes very quickly. You wouldn't think that would happen so much with corn whiskey, right? Except, remember, we're in Texas, and that heat is pounding on that barrel all day long. And then when the temperature fluctuates, all that whiskey that expanded in the heat into that barrel comes rushing back out, and it pulls all that wood spice and that wood sugar and tannicness and just all that flavor, all those flavors, the lignans and the congeners and all that stuff, just pulls it out of the barrel. So you get a ton of flavor super quickly, which can be problematic if you want to make something like 10 years old, and then you're just going to get a tannic bomb. It's just going to be bitter as fuck. However, you can make something, get a lot of flavor in it super quickly. So for example, look at this guy, Baby Blue, right? And also they're all battled at 46% or better. I love that. Balcones, that's fantastic. 46 or better. But yeah, so this is used cooperage, and it smells corny. It smells like, you get corn, you get that fresh corn, you get that blue corn, that cornbread, but you also get that, like, a lot of wood sugar right up front. You get that, like, kind of molassesy, treacly smell. I love that smell. And that, I think, defines Balcones in particular, that treacly, like, wood sugary smell. That is something I find with a lot of Balcones products. Now, and Balcones uses really small barrels. That is true. They use super small, like 5-gallon barrels. AJ Lopez is saying Baby Blue also, uses so many different types of cooperage because they have so many. Like, think about, they're making bourbon, they're making malt, they're making all this stuff. They're sourcing barrels to finish their stuff in. You can do, so much with a corn whiskey, with all these different barrels. Super cool. They used to use 15, but now they're at 58. There you go. Oh, and 5. So they're back up. They're up at full size. Yeah. Oh, I love this. The nice thing about Balcones, y'all know I don't necessarily like a super sweet whiskey. But here's what I think makes Texas whiskey pretty cool, is that, you're drawing out a ton of wood sugar. You're drawing out a ton of that wood sugar. But when you're drawing out wood sugar, you're also pulling out that spiciness, right? And I don't remember how the chemistry works. I'm sure, where's Weddle when you need him? I'm sure he could tell us. But those lignans break down and they create spicy notes. And the tannins work there in there somewhere. The tannins help break down the lignans, and you get, a mixture of bittersweet and spicy. Oh, it's like caramel. It's like caramel mixed with black pepper. And it just makes me happy, man. It just makes me happy. Thing about True Blue, I will say, it is probably the most grain forward of the lineup. Definitely like more so than probably anything else we're going to drink tonight. Just because it is a younger corn whiskey. Because I don't even know, do they have an age statement on here? Yep, 12 months, a year. It is a younger corn whiskey. So it is like, it's got some, poppy kind of, not fruit. It's that buttered popcorn, fruity, melony mixture that kind of pops in your mouth with a younger whiskey. It's kind of that effervescent sweetness. So it's not just full on blast of oak. There's some lighter fruity, sweet elements. Not even sweet, because sweet makes it sound like it's sugary. It's not. Those elements aren't sugary. They're more. How do I say that? I feel like effervescent just keeps coming to mind because it's those little light flavors that kind of pop up in between the molasses and the spice, right? It's like you get the caramel, you get the molasses, you get the spiciness, and then there's just a little bit of like a pop, just a little pop of that nice, younger grain thing. Yeah. If you're not sure, here's the thing. If you're not sure you're going to like the full-throated blast of like Balcones super woody expressions, like that super wood forwardness, maybe try Baby Blue. I think the only thing is some people might think, like maybe some people are going to think it's a little too grain forward. I don't really get like a young green note on this. It's not like super young green, that spiky yew branch. This is like much more tame than a lot of corn whiskeys. That said, it is still grain forward. It's still like a pretty that slightly melony corn. Cohen says, there's a Balcones malt pick here from Mission that is 44 months old. That is Asian for Balcones. It is crazy dark. Yeah, Euro Oak Cask. I believe it. Man, it is crazy. All of these are pretty freaking dark. But I think I had a Brimstone, and Brimstone only has an age statement of like a day or something. It's kind of a joke. But that thing it looked like Coca-Cola. But even darker. It looked like coffee. It looked like black coffee. Man, yeah. Tim C, I have had the True Blue Cask Strength. Yeah, I have had that. At 36 months, I really like that one. Actually, I thought the True Blue Cask Strength, I'm trying to remember. I think I liked it because we had that. I think we might have done a review of that, me and the old man, back in the day. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. I know I've had it though, and I know I really liked it because you're right. It does take on a lot more complexity with a little extra time. And it doesn't, the nice thing about that, I think that extra time, it didn't get overly tannic. And that's something you kind of need to worry about with these. You don't want them to sit too long because those tannins just come off as bitter. Like if you let a barrel sit too long, it stops being spicy and it just becomes bitter as fuck. The True Blue Cask Strength, I didn't have that problem whatsoever. Oh, look at everybody wish Cheech a happy birthday. Everybody wish Cheech a happy birthday. Oh, and DC? It's DC's birthday? Everybody wish DC a happy birthday. Hey, Eric! You didn't miss much. It took me 25 minutes to drink one whiskey. It took me 25 fucking minutes to drink one whiskey. I have just been sitting here pontificating about why Balcones is so fucking good. That's So you haven't missed too much. Cheech, thank you for supporting us. If you haven't been following our Instagram, you're missing out on my liquor store puns. If you really like dad jokes, if you really like awful dad jokes, go check out my liquor store pun series. All right, so let's talk about pot still. And me and Erica did a review of this, and I love this one. I think this is probably one of my favorite bourbons. Just period. I like super oaked bourbons. I do. I like high rye bourbons, and I like super oaky bourbons. And this one certainly isn't a rye spice bourbon. It's not a high rye. Actually, I don't even remember the mash bill on this, or if they released it. Yeah, I'm not sure. But man, this is so good. Because if you're going to go sweet, you got to go spicy. And it does. It does. Eric Evanson, what do I have in the lineup? I will tell you guys, for the latecomers, it is True Blue or Baby Blue. I'm going to keep fucking that up because True Blue rhymes. But okay, I got to remember it's like my baby blue. That's how I'll remember which one this is. So Baby Blue, pot still bourbon, Lineage malt, the #1 original malt, and the Texas rye, the Balcones Brujeria, and Balcones Brimstone PX. There you are. Cohen, he has a B day every day until we stop saying he has a B day. We're trapped in the graviton well of a black hole, and Cheech's birthday is lasting as long as it lasts. Space-time is folding around us, and we are living Cheech's birthday repeatedly, Groundhog Day style, because of the black hole. Welcome to Cheech's birthday. Eternal. All right. Hey, Guy Davis, my man. How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, you should. You should. It is kind of kettle corny, isn't it? That's a good call. I was trying to describe the corn element to this, and it is. It's a very caramely kettle corn kind of thing. You're totally right. You're totally right. Oh, this makes me happy. You guys, you don't know how happy this makes me. It just really does. Sugar Kitty, we need the spice to celebrate the birthdays in full time. The spice must flow. Who's excited for the Dune movie? I am. Looks good. Oscar Isaac. He is a pretty son of a bitch. God damn, Oscar Isaac. So the thing with the pot still bourbon is I really think, man, this is the most creme brulee, charred oak, and treacle mixture that I like. It's all these super cool, like kind of heavy notes, right? It's got some super heavy notes. It's in your face with these big, like kind of star player notes, but they're all actually working together. Like you think, oh, one would dominate too much, one would be too much. But because they're all so big and beefy, they all have to share the time. And so they all kind of work together. Oh, man. Lito Cortez is saying his wife replaced cognac with Baby Blue on an oxtail. That sounds awesome. That sounds really, really good. I haven't had oxtail in forever. I should get some. Hey, Raider Nation is in. Awesome. Thank you for stopping by, man. I should say, and I'll probably talk about this more on a future video, but I just found the website Whiskey Raiders. You just reminded me, Raider Nation, that Whiskey Raiders seems like a cool site. It's like an aggregate site. Here, let me find it real quick. It's an aggregate site for reviews. So they're taking reviews from across, like pretty much everywhere they can. They're standardizing the numbers, and then it's in the chat right now. They're like posting it so everyone can see like what everyone thinks of a particular whiskey, which I think is great. Because like you can listen to me in my opinion about a whiskey, but I'm just one jagoff with one, tongue and one nose. Whereas if you go to this site, you can listen to a ton of motherfucking jagoffs, and they've got they've got a bunch of tongues, bunch of jagoffs with a bunch of tongues. Whiskey Raiders should put that on their website. It's a bunch of jagoffs with a bunch of tongues. No, my buddy at work turned me on to that. Actually, seems pretty cool. My only thing is I don't actually look at reviews until after I've had a whiskey. But I know a lot of people do want to see reviews before they buy. Me, I don't really look at reviews because I don't want to know if what other people think, because I think it might color my perception, and because if I fucking hate a whiskey, it just shows up on Wednesday, so I got no reason not to buy it. Yeah. Bourbon Neophyte asks where I'm from. I'm from Milwaukee, by way of Manitoba, by way of Tipperary, by way of New Orleans. And there might be some Martian thrown in there too. I think Eric was saying something about a bittersweet chocolate note, or maybe he just said chocolate. Yes, I'm from Wisconsin, Eric. I'm from Wisconsin. Yeah, I definitely get that. And that's something, it's interesting. I think a lot of times when I get a bittersweet chocolate note, it's usually in a single malt. Generally, a lot of American single malts in particular, I think. I'm trying to think of which ones I'm particularly thinking of. St. George, I get a pretty significant like chocolate note. Breckenridge malt whiskey. If you ever have their Dark Magic, which is excessively expensive, painfully, stupidly expensive, but if you were to ever have it, it's very, very bittersweet dark chocolate. And I get that on this too, but it's not a malt mash bill. It's a bourbon mash bill. I'm guessing that's because like it drew out a lot of that. Like tannins are a weird thing in whiskey because we don't think of whiskey as being particularly tannic. We don't think of it as being particularly drying, right? Oh, he has chocolate malt in the rye. Never mind. It has chocolate malt in the rye. Never mind. It's not from the barrel. It's just from the chocolate malt rye. My man Eric holding me down. But I was going to say, when we think about tannins in whiskey, we don't usually think about them much because we don't think of it as it can be dry, but it's not a super dry whiskey. Like dry like a red wine is dry. But at the same time, tannins are important in the aging process, partially because they break down lignans and partially because you can draw out tannins and add bittersweet elements to your whiskey. In this case, I guess it's probably from the chocolate malted rye. But my point stands nonetheless. All right. So maybe we should move on to this one. This is Lineage. Now, I have... Oh, Cheech. Oh, I love you, Cheech. You're awesome. Yes, go subscribe to Whiskey Encore. Cheech, you are more than welcome to plug your channel anytime in my chat. Please, feel free. Feel free, my man. All right. So, this is Balcones Lineage. Now, I have a shameful admission to admit now, here, in public, to all of you. It's a horrid secret. It's something I can't come back from, that you're all going to look at me as lesser for having to say this to you. That admission is, I actually haven't had Lineage yet. I haven't. This is one that I haven't actually gotten to have. So this is going to be a first impression of Lineage right here on stream. I really hope I love it as much as I love everything else from Balcones, because otherwise this is going to get awkward. The title of the stream is why it's so good. Hopefully I love it. Nathan Clark is saying, CS Rye and the Freak are uber tannic, and that Lineage is one of the best values. Oh, Froke is one of the best values in Balcones. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Let's see. I know. Shame. All right. Little off the cuff review right here. Oh, wow. Oh, I did not know what to expect, but that is super fruity. Yeah, Lineage just came in by you. Oh, yes, and Kilco too. Go subscribe to Kilco. Kilco Whiskey Musings. Hey, Cheech, help me out. Or someone with a wrench, help me out. Throw up a Kilco link for me. Everyone, stop what you're doing. And by what you're doing, I mean watching this stream, and go subscribe to Kilco. Do it. Do it now. Do it right now. Do it. Do the Margaret Thatcher. Just do it. Do the Margaret Thatcher. All right. Yeah. Nathan Clark, I wasn't getting to this yet. It is Texas and Scottish barley. And it's, a bunch of different cooperage. It's freaky. Used anew, American, Hungarian, European. Oh, good on you, Raider. Hey, Debtor Pass. My man. This is super, peachy. It's not even peachy O's. It's just pure, what's I going to say? Fresh, juicy peach and apricot. Juicy peach and apricot. Apricot takes me back, man. I am nostalgic for apricots. Nathan Clark says peach cobbler. Yeah, I agree. Because it's got a little bit of a baking spice note to it. God damn. That is not what I was expecting. At all. Yeah. I was not thinking I was going to come into this and be like peaches and, tangerine. Is it tangerine? No. What did I say before? Apricot? Yeah. Super apricot-y. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. That is a whole different take on Balcones, because it's malty, it's got toffee, it's got caramel, It's got the peach. It's got the apricot. Got a little bit of citrus. Man, and that finish hangs with you. That finish hangs with you. Like an orange starburst just in the back of my throat. Just boom, 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 boom. Man, that's good. And right when you think it's just going to be fruit, right when you think it's just going to be fruit all day, that finish hits you with the wood spice. It hits you with the wood spice and the treacle. Right there. Gets you with that nice, like, kind. It's not smoke. It's not smoke, but it is an ashy ash treacle and wood spice kind of thing. What kind of spice is that though? Hey, what's up? Everybody go subscribe to the Mash Bill. Hey, you know what? We should just say everybody needs to go subscribe to everybody. New rule. If you come on this stream, you have to be subscribed to every single whiskey tube. I don't know how many there are. I don't know all of them, but new rule. That's a requirement for coming on the stream. You have to subscribe to everybody all the time forever. All right. Oh, is that it? I didn't actually know. I don't get pear, but I certainly do get the apricot and the peach, definitely. Yeah. I don't know if I've told you guys about the apricot tree we had, where the locusts would just swarm every year once the apricots started falling, and they would just fill the backyard. And basically from late August to late September, you just did not play in the backyard. We went and played in the front yard just because you got stung and bit. We had those big black, what do you call them? The black wasps. Those motherfuckers don't sting you. They bite you. They take chunks out of your leg. Mean sons of bitches. Mean sons of bitches. Tom Edwards. Oh, he gets to drive by the distillery every day. Yeah, I know. I've heard about the distillery only releases, and I'm very jealous. Eric Evans is saying grilled pineapple. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know about pineapple. I don't think pineapple, but I see what you're saying for sure. There is a tropical fruit note there. I guess it kind of reminds me of a grilled plantain, or like, grilled banana, grilled plantain. I remember we had when I was living down in South Africa, that was something we used to eat, was do it on the barbecue. They love barbecuing down there. They call it braaiing. Everybody loves to braai. That is the one thing that unites all South Africans, regardless of, race, ethnicity, political persuasion. Everybody loves a good braai, and they eat so much goddamn meat. It is nuts. Wait, Wags, what's going on Saturday? I hope there's good news, but what's happening? I hope you're good, man. I didn't realize there might be bad news. I hope everything's okay. Yeah. You know what this kind of reminds me of? Tim C. Oh, he eats a lot of Cuban foods. Yeah, plantains are tasty. Peach and pineapple upside down cake. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of see that, but I'm looking for the pineapple. I'm not getting the pineapple so much. You know what? Okay, I will say though, it reminds me a little bit of ambrosia salad, which does have pineapple in it, but it reminds me more of the little itty bitty oranges and the coconut that you get in ambrosia salad. That's what it's reminding of, more so than the pineapple. But I get the idea. There is a tropical fruit note there, which kind of makes sense. I get a lot of especially ex-bourbon, ex-American oak. I do get a lot of tropical fruit popping up in single malts. Like especially Irish single malts, but single malts generally. Oh, do the reverse inhale thing. And okay, there you go. I kind of see what you mean. I'm still not quite getting it, but yeah, close enough. I was going to say, though, this reminds me a lot of Spirit Hound. Spirit Hound, which is a straight malt from Colorado, aged in new oak. Like, this doesn't have the molassesy, hardcore spice notes that this does, but it has a really similar fruity element. And it kind of reminds me of like if Glenmorangie, like kind of like Glenmorangie a little bit. Glenmorangie, but like without the sherry influences of any of those. You know, any of the Lasantas or the Quinta Rubens, just like standard Glenmo. So, yeah. Oh, you got job offers. Oh, awesome. That's cool. Okay, I was worried it was going to be something like a medical test. Dude, I got scared there for a second. Awesome. Cool. Sweet. Good luck. Congratulations. Yeah! Balcones! Balcones! I told you it was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen. I can't control when it happens. It just happens. It just happens. All right. Let's compare Lineage to the original Texas single malt. Or number one, as they call it. Sugar Kitty's blind. I mean, cats, right? They have a much better eyesight than the rest of the humans. So my blinding VoIP must have been extremely painful for you, Sugar Kitty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. Yeah. Okay. See, this is super interesting. I've had their single malt before. And it is, oh, look at the color on that. That's even different. It is much more of what I expected. Yeah, actually, that's a good question, Eric. What is the mash bill on the bourbon? I have no idea, except that apparently there's chocolate malted rye in it. Man, do you think I didn't prepare for this stream? I came here ready to scream Balcones and drink a bunch of fucking whiskey, man. That was the plan. That was the fucking plan the whole time. Tim C. My sweet boy. I need you to rank Texas distilleries. I mean, I can. I need to have more of them before I can do a really good job, but I can do the ones I've had. 4 grain. Okay. So rye, wheat, barley, corn. And apparently some of that is chocolate malted. Ooh, doing the Traverse City. I do like Traverse City. Traverse City is good shit. And the port finish is good shit. I gotta say. Totally fair. Gotta divvy up the jobs. All right. See, this is much more in keeping with other Balcones products, right? The nose is super, super wood sugar forward. It's super treacly. It's super molasses. It's peppery, but not peppery. Clovey, I guess. It's got that wood spice. It's got that wood spice that really comes out. And there's actually, here's the thing about this one. This has a certain funk to it, a certain phenolic funk. It's not peat reek, and I don't actually remember what exactly. I don't think they smoked this or anything like that, but there is that bittersweet malt funk on here that really does make it different from the Lineage. The Lineage is so fruity. It's so big and peachy. And it's honestly like, it's much less oily. It's got a lot less of that really thick Balcones taste and feel than the other ones. This is super thick molasses. This is super thick. And like that, it's fruity, but it's a really dark plum. This is a light apricot, right? This is a light apricot in your mixed drink. You know, you put a chunk of frozen apricot in there. This is an overripe, dark plum, right? Oh, God damn it, that's good. The cool thing about this is, I think that kind of phenolic note, actually comes off just a touch petrochemically, just a touch. Like it's kind of like, in a way, it's a little bit like Connemara. However, Connemara is like a fucking tire fire. This is a tire fire covered in oil and white petrol. You took a bunch of white petrol and you fucking covered the tires and then you lit that shit on fire. That's what this is. This is more like a little itty bitty sulfury petrochemically note. Just a little bit. Just a poop. Just a little poop. Mixed with molasses and plum and that wood spice. Oh, it's good. It's good. AJ Lopez says the phenolic funk is from Balcones' own flora and how the cooperage is affected by the heat. There you go. John, why are you here? I mean, I know why you're here, because you're a lovely person and I adore you and I'm so glad you're here. But like, don't ever say a bad thing about Rye again. You're not allowed. Yeah. It's interesting because it still smells stone fruit. It still smells like stone fruit, right? But one is stone fruit, like super ripe, dark stone fruit. The other is a super light, easygoing stone fruit. It's two totally different things. It's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, I'm sure part of that is that Scottish with Texas barley, all Texas barley. But like just the way, I have to assume the way this aged, man, it's totally different. It's totally different. I think that kind of shows why single malt can be such a flexible and diverse category, because so much weird stuff can change, man. You know, it's all malted barley. But man, these are two totally different whiskeys. Hey man, if you want a tire fire, go get yourself some Connemara. Connemara cask strength. Not regular Connemara is like peat and butter and light citrus. It's kind of sweet and smoky. Connemara cask strength is the most petrochemically thing on the face of the earth. It is more petrol-y than actual petrol. So there you go. Although a close second is Matsui from Kurayoshi. If you like the petrochemically shit, go get some Matsui peated. Not the Mizunara. Matsui peated, not Matsui Mizunara. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. So some people are bashing the Balcones rye. Other people are talking it up. We'll see. You don't see the cast strength? We got some down here if you want it, man. Come by Rays. Come by Rays. And yes, hit that like button. I don't know how many likes we're at. I can't see. But there's 43 people in the chat, so we should be at 43, right? Because you all like me. You all like me, right? Some of you anyway. So the funny thing about their flora, they recognized it affected their mash and whiskey so positively, their fermenters actually have pumps that draw in more during fermentation. That's crazy. Because like there are certainly a lot of people. There's people who do open fermentation. I know that can. Some people don't like to do open fermentation because it is hard to control. But there's a significant portion of the whiskey producers, maybe the lion's share, actually do open fermentation. But like actually trying to get flora into your shit, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, dude, come on down sometime. If you're up for it. I have no idea what the price at Rays is. I don't remember. It's probably too much. Yay! 47 likes! Well done. That's the one thing about StreamYard. I can't actually see what's going on YouTube. All right, we're coming to an hour. I still have 3 more whiskeys to drink, so we're not finishing in an hour. It's just not happening. We're going to keep going. If you're going to go watch Scotch for Dummies, I totally understand. Go watch Scotch for Dummies. Go do it. Go do it. But come back and watch the replay. Or just hang out here. I don't give a fuck. I'm a little drunk. I'm gonna just drink my whiskey and hang out and talk about Balcones. That's just what we're doing tonight. Eric gave you my thumb. It's all I ever wanted. All right. So let's get into the rye. Now, cast strength rye, I really, really loved. And the rye I liked a lot too. But it's not the usual rye. Like when we're talking about the usual rye suspects, right? When we're talking about the usual rye suspects, we're talking black licorice, we're talking clove, pepper, fennel, peachios, stone fruit generally. We're talking vegetation. We're talking grassiness. That's not what this rye is. That's not what this rye is. Whiskey Wookie. Yeah! Balcones! Oh, shit. Or you could go watch Wags over on Instagram. You could do that too. Support all the channels. Support everybody. Oh, you know I will. You know I will. Yeah. The thing about this rye is it is not like any other rye. It's just not. So, like, if you think, oh, I hate rye because rye tastes like black licorice and pickle. That's the other one. People hate dill. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. Okay. I haven't had Whitmeyer's. I have had Iron Root, Balcones, Garrison Brothers, Andalusia. Obviously, I really love Balcones. Balcones and Iron Root are pretty close, but I think Balcones edges it out. Iron Root, probably second. I'm trying to think. Lone Elm is very good. I like Lone Elm a lot. I don't know where that would rank. Somewhere up there. Who makes that really good wheat whiskey? There's somebody who makes a sick wheat whiskey, and I can't remember their name. for the life of me. Who the fuck is that? There's a Texas wheat whiskey that I really, really like. I can't remember. That's okay. Oh, Tawakero makes great rye. Tawakero makes fantastic rye. So it might be Balcones, Tawakero, Iron Root, Andalusia, Lone Elm, Garrison Brothers? Maybe? Oh, and Still Austin. Still Austin's got that freaky-ass pepper whiskey. I like that pepper whiskey. It's freaky. It's weird, but it's kind of cool. No, not TX. Not TX. It's a straight wheat. It's a true wheat. Hey! What's up? What's up, Sam? Cheers! Cheers, bitches. No, not Iron Root. Tawakero. Tawakero has a rye. Tawakero. Yeah, I haven't had Whitmeyer's. I'll have to check them out next time I'm down that way. Garrison is too damned overpriced and made by a Tex plant with Yankee. Yeah. Well, you know, here's the thing about Garrison Brothers. I liked their cowboy. They had whatever that cowboy thing was. I liked that. But I also had one of the worst single barrel picks I have ever had from Garrison Brothers. And it turned so bad. It was like rotten, funky, I don't know. It's like rotten fruit. It was awful. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I miss you too. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try to show up around you more. Oh, you're so nice. I love you, Sam. I love you, Sam. That's super cool. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Okay. But rankings aside, wait, hold on. Did I rank everybody I wanted to get in there? Okay. Still Austin is at the bottom. Balcones is probably at the top. Iron Root, Tawakero, or Tawakero, Iron Root. I don't know. Those two is a mix. Andalusia, Lone Elm. Garrison Brothers is in the middle somewhere because it's a mixed bag. Erica said she was tired because she knew I was going to get drunk tonight and she didn't want to deal with me. So she'll be on tomorrow's video. I promise. Yeah. Do Texas people hate Northerners that much? Are we that bad? I love Texas. Texas has given us some great people. Willie Nelson, Big Bopper, Waylon Jennings, Buddy Holly. I'm realizing I'm only listing old musicians. But yeah, you all get to deal with me. Yeah, no, there is. I haven't had any of their real shit. I've just had their weird, funky pepper whiskey, which is funky and weird. So that's kind of fun. Aw, thank you, AJ. Appreciate you. Yeah. The thing about this rye, there is a vegetal note in this rye. This rye has a little bit of that grassy, wet leaf kind of thing. Oh, here's my thing. I'm going to repeat it. Y'all have heard it a million times. I'm going to say it again because it's important that everyone knows my ethos on rye. Rye is broken up into 3 groups. You got your spice, you got your stone fruit, and then over here you got your vegetation. Your vegetation can either run like kind of funky wet leaf, or it can run eucalyptusy. And those 3 groups tend to mix with the others. And sometimes they mix all the way across. But Balcones rye is fucking weird. Why is it weird? Because it sits in the vegetal camp. However, It's got this whole fucking other side to it, way over here, that's fucking coffee and dark chocolate. It's freaky, man. It's freaky as hell. It's like wet grass, leaves, eucalyptus, a little bit, a shit ton of chocolate and motherfucking coffee. Just all up in that motherfucker. Yeah. Yes. No, it is a funky vegetable molasses thing. It is. It is. 100%. 100%. That's exactly what it is. Oh, I forgot. I totally forgot about Crowded Barrel. You know, but here's the thing. I haven't had anything from Crowded Barrel since I was down there tasting the fucking MGP stuff. I haven't had any new stuff. It's hard to say what I would think. Obviously, I've got to. John Gunsel is here, so obviously I have to say Crowded Barrel's great because John Gunsel's amazing, and I love John Gunsel, and you know I'm not going to insult him. But I haven't had any of their new stuff. I don't want to rank them just based on the stuff I've had. So, yeah. Have I tried the Mirador? I have, and I love it. I love it. Froke, Mirador. What else have I had that was weird from them? Hechiceros is really good. I haven't had the Juntos. I had an opportunity to have the Juntos, and I missed it because I'm a dumbass. And instead of like just going and drinking whiskey, I spent time talking to people like a human being, like a fucking asshole. So, yeah, I had a good time talking to folks, hanging out, rather than drinking Juntos. And I regretted it every day since. Lone Wanderer says, eucalyptus grass, chocolate, molasses. That's a good call. It is. It sits very much in the vegetal vein, but with those added freaky, bittersweet chocolate and coffee notes. 100%. When you try that, a Tootsie Roll taste. That's interesting. I get what you mean. It's buried under the coffee that I was getting. It's buried under the coffee, but no, I kind of get what you mean. Yeah. I like Tootsie Rolls, though. I like Tootsie Rolls. Oh, you don't like Ta? Man, I love Tawakero. Tawakero is a freaky ass rye motherfucker, and I love it. Oh, Brujeria. We're about to do Brujeria. So that's coming next. I like Texas. I like Texas rye. I do. It's not rye. I mean, it is rye, but it is not It's rye, but it's Texas rye. It's not like rye like you expect. That's what I'll say. That's fair. That's fair. Instead of pulling up the weeds, you just run them over. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. Oh, I'm sorry, Giant Cheeto. Hopefully they'll make it up there. I mean, they only recently got to Wisconsin. Up until recently, I had to go down to Chicago to get them. Driving to Illinois, which is the worst thing. It's the worst thing ever. Seriously, there's a giant red line at the border. And as soon as you cross that red line, going south, everything sucks. Except the liquor selection. The liquor selection's excellent. Fucking primary market motherfuckers. But yeah, everything else but Illinois is a shithole. I don't mean that. I have friends from Illinois. I have plenty of people I love from Illinois. Cousins, family. I just like to shit on Illinois. We call them the fucking Illinois bastards. And if you're really mad at them, you call them the fucking fibs. The fucking Illinois bastards. And we like to make fun of them for how they drive. Except we drive just as shittily. Milwaukee drivers are terrible, but we like to point out that Chicago drivers are worse. Thank you, Whiskey Wookie. Emily, the Taw Dudes are from the part of Florida where she grew up. That's pretty cool. Neat. Oh yeah, the Bears suck. The Bears suck. We all know this. All right, let's talk Breweria. This is one. I'm going to finish off my sample. Thank you to the Gallaways one more time. I haven't talked to them forever. I should get a hold of them. I wonder how they're doing. They have the cutest dog. They've got this cute husky. She's adorable. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, Breweria. So, this is single malt finished in Oloroso and PX, I believe. Oloroso and PX. I don't think there's any other sherries in there. I think those are the main ones. And I fucking love sherry, man. Seriously. The way to win my heart, and what Erica did when we were courting, when she courted me, was she came up and just smacked a bottle of sherry into my chest. And I was just like, well, okay, I guess we're dating now. Eric, yes, I do work on weekends, although, fun fact, I'm not working Fridays right now. It's fucking great. Part of the reason I feel okay, having a few drinks right now, they're not putting me on Fridays. So if you want to stop by, Ray's, I do midday on Saturday, and I do full day on Sunday. So stop on by, say hello. I'm around. Come on by and say hi. We can shoot a Patreon lens together. That'll be fun. All right. The Roop. No, Roop, you shouldn't be insulted. Maybe only a little bit. Whiskey Wookie, there's a reason he's in North Carolina now. Yeah. Oh, Okies are the worst drivers? I don't know. You haven't... Chicago... Here's the thing about drivers. Chicago drivers are very aggressive. They're very aggressive. But everyone drives aggressively. So I guess it's okay. Milwaukee drivers... Here's the thing about Milwaukee drivers. Like, 8 out of 10 Milwaukee drivers are super cool. They're just driving along. They stay in their lane, whatever. And then there's 2 out of 10 Milwaukee drivers who are fucking speeding and weaving in and out of lanes and riding the fucking shoulder and riding the bike lane and just blowing through red lights. It's like we've got a very small minority of people who drive like fucking assholes, but they make themselves known. Yeah. You gotta say it. How do I say it? Okay. Breweria? Breweria. Roll the E? No, wait. Roll the R. Breweria. Breweria. Breweria? Like that? Like breweria. Is that it? Is that breweria? Okay. I'll trust you. You guys are from Texas, you know. Breweria. Breweria. There we go. Okay. Tim C says I got it. Oh, yeah. No. So we're actually allowed to stay open 9 to 9, but the Tavern League gives a lot of shitty rules just about like everything else. So like we can stay open 9 to 9 every day out of the week if we want to, but like everything else is a little sketchy. Like the Tavern League really, the Tavern League made it so it's hard to sell anything out. Like you can't sell outside of those hours except for beer, and no one does that because there's no point to like keeping a store open. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. No, I try so hard, Eric. I try so hard. Every day of my life, I try hard. And a hard try as well. Every time I see a try, I hard it. And when I see a hard, I try it. That's my ethos, man. I'm going to keep doing that. Right, witchcraft. Yeah, like a bruja. Like a bruja is a witch. The way I was saying it earlier is closer to the way I just said it. Well, you know what? It is what it is, man. I've been drinking whiskey. It's all loose. It's all loose. Okay. Let's talk about brujeria. Close enough? Whatever. This is a sherry bomb, man. This is a sherry fucking bomb. This will light up your nose hairs. You know, and I gotta say, like, oh, wait. Was Tim C messing with me? Was I saying it? You know what? I'm not listening to any of you anymore. I'm just going back to calling it brujeria. I'm not listening to any of you. I'm just gonna call it brew. From now on, it's just called brew. So yeah, this is so sherried, man. It's amazingly sherried. And I know, like, some people don't like a super sherried whiskey. Some people want like a naked malt, as they say. And it's like, I don't agree. I don't agree. I think malt is such a beautiful canvas to attach other flavors to, and it really shines. It just really shines. Oh, it's so good. The fun thing with this is I do think you get elements of both worlds, both the PX and the Oloroso. You get like a cashew nuttiness, and you get like that kind of syrupy, super grapey, raisiny PX. I think the PX comes out a little bit more. Like, it's more of a syrupy PX kind of thing, but there's an underlying nuttiness that is super, super good. Super, super good. Yeah. No. Well, here's the thing I think with barley. Like, I think barley does shine on its own, for sure. Like, it does shine on its own because you get toffee and you get some nice fruitiness. But it's the beautiful thing about barley is that it's strong enough flavor on its own that it stands up to finishing, depending on how high you distill it, right? I think that's why Scotch, double distilled Scotch, sometimes stands up to finishing better than Irish, like triple distilled Irish. And I know, I'm not supposed to say bad things about Irish, but I think that's sometimes true. Like, sometimes, especially with the port finishes, sometimes a double distilled Scotch stands up better, simply because you left more grain congeners in the distillate to mix and mash and work with the finishing elements. That's why I think Bushmill 16 is the fucking devil. Or, I guess, Anferduve. Bushmills, Anferduve is Bushmills. But yeah. It's just it takes over. And I think that's kind of the nice thing about the Balcones is that it works really well. Like, this malt stands up very well to these. Oh, Eric loves sherry. Man, I love sherry so much. I do too. That's good. The nice thing about this one, the brujeria, whatever, it starts off with the super sweet jammy grapiness, ends with the nuttiness. And I think that's kind of the way things tend to go with these things, is that the more bitter, nutty elements tend to come out on the finish. The sweeter elements come out on the front. That's my experience anyway. I don't know about you, but yeah. Oh, there's a Mexican metal band called Brujeria. I'm going to check that out. The Forsyth stills at Balcones. Yeah, stills are so pretty, man. They really are, aren't they? Even column stills. I know everyone likes to shit on column stills, but column stills, I have a thing for column stills. And not just because they look like giant copper penises. Also because they're just fucking awesome. Eric asks, have I had the Kirkland Scotch? I have. I've had Kirkland Scotch. I've also had Kirkland Irish. They're both actually not bad. Honestly. I'm pretty sure Kirkland actually gets some, I don't know where they source from, but they get some decent brands, some decent distillery shit, and they put it in their bottles. Yeah. Uh-oh. Balcones! All right, I gotta stop doing that. It's almost 10 at night. I can't keep waking up my my neighbor's kids. The 20 year? I have not had the 20 year. No, I've had the much younger. No, I've not tried the Grand Cru. We are finishing out the night with Balcones Brimstone. Can I get this to focus? There we go. Balcones Brimstone PX. Saving the big smoky guy for last. Maybe it's just because I've been drinking, or maybe I've just gotten used to smoke, but this is not as... Oh, Jason, you didn't have to do that. My dude. Thank you, Jason. You're awesome. I wish I had some Froke to have on stream right now. I do, but yeah, I can't. Because it's not here in Wisconsin. That's a limited release, I'm pretty sure. But thank you so much, Jason. You're awesome. Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah, get a hold of me at the Rocket Review at Gmail. Thanks. That's very generous of you. All right. I'll have to look out for it. Thank you. Oh, geez, I'm getting a little tipsy. Gotta calm it down. We're gonna go into calm mode now. Just gonna take it nice and easy. This is the Bob Ross segment of our show, where I talk about happy little mistakes and pretty little trees. So how about this Brimstone? The thing about Brimstone is that I don't think it's quite as smoky as some people make it out to be. When I first had it, after hearing about it from the Whiskey Vault, I thought it was going to be just about the smokiest thing I've ever had. It's actually not. It's kind of just a nice, woody smoke. A sweet, spicy smoke, as it were. God damn it, Jason. Yes, Balcones. I can't keep yelling. My neighbors have little kids, and these walls are thin. They're going to get mad at me. But I will lift the shirt for you. Balcones. I'm sorry. I can't keep screaming. It's getting late. Also, I can't stretch the shirt out. This is actually a nice shirt. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for letting me know. We're going to invade one day. We're going to invade and take back southern Wisconsin. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, okay, maybe it's just the finishing. Because, yeah, this doesn't come off as smoky as... Even the regular Brimstone is not as smoky as you would think it would be, considering it's marketed as Brimstone. Yeah, the thing is, Brujeria is a sherry bomb, right? This is not. It's not a sherry bomb. This is more balanced in a way. That's weird to say that. I know, but it's one of the only nice t-shirts I own. I own so few nice t-shirts. I get t-shirts for free, or I don't get t-shirts at all. This is one of the few nice t-shirts I own. It's got a sweet fucking astronaut on it. I love it. That is true. That is true. I can't. There's little babies across the hall. I can't wake up the little babies. I would feel terrible. I would feel terrible. You know, I had one at a Chicago whiskey tasting way back in the day. I don't know. I didn't think it was that strong. The smoke is nice, but Connemara is much more dense. Well, yeah. Connemara cast strength, if we're talking about cast strength, Connemara is a fucking wall. Connemara cast strength is the fucking Fort Knox of phenolic. Connemara cast strength is like you piled stones from here to fucking Tokyo. And that is the denseness of fucking Connemara cast strength. Connemara cast strength is like the great fucking wall of fucking denseness. I will, for sure. I will. No problem. Fair enough, Cheeto. Okay, fair enough. Here's the thing about Brimstone. Like, I don't think it's the most... We should make a distinction between phenolic and smoky, because they're two different things, right? You can have like a wheat beer that's phenolic, but it's not smoky. It's got those clovey, funky notes, but it's definitely not a big billowy smoke. There's no smoke there. And you can have something that's super smoky, but it can be a very sweet smoke. It can be a very sweet wood smoke that's not that really petrochemically dense smoke, right? That's right. There's two different extremes. They're not the same thing. This is very smoky. And it's a little phenolic, but it's not super, super phenolic. There's, those stand at different edges. Oh, shit. Robert Licorice, good to see you. How you been, my man? Good seeing you. You're going to have to send more Iron Root to Wisconsin if I'm going to do an Iron Root stream. Get on that, man. I need more Iron Root in my life. Or just ship it straight to me. You don't even have to put it in the stores. Just send it straight to my ass. I'll drink it. I'll talk about it. Oh, man. I will say, though, this particular version, the Brimstone PX, I get a really interesting banana note. A green banana. Like that green, an underripe banana is what I get on this. Which is not something you would expect from like mesquite smoked whiskey, and it's not something you would expect from PX casks. But for whatever reason, it's there. There's a freaky... Oh, Eric, you don't have to agree with me. I'm an idiot. But yeah, there's a green banana note that is super interesting. I wonder if that's... the basis for this, I believe, was a corn whiskey. I wonder if that's a little bit of that lingering kind of green corn note that's just kind of been transformed. It's neat. It's neat. It's not a bad note at all. And I'm pretty sure if I hadn't been drinking all of these, I probably wouldn't have found that because it's buried under the kind of smokiness. Yeah. I like it though. I like it. Okay. So, which one do I like the most? That's a hard question. I don't know if I want to choose because they're all really good in their own way. I guess I don't have to choose. This is my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Oh, thank you, Cheech. You're good people. The Optima 11.3. I assume that's the Octomore. But no, I haven't. I think that was a online only release, right? I didn't get that one. I had the one. I think I saw the 2 somewhere around, but that disappeared quickly. So, no, sorry. Lito says he equates phenolic to the medicinal note one sometimes find in smoky whiskey. True. I think that's true. Although I think there are different ways that different whiskeys arrive at a medicinal note. Some of them come off as a very salty iodine. Some of them come off as more of a just straight, like that smoke, earth, and medicinal. So I do think there are different ways to get a medicinal note. Some of them just come off as bitter, like a bitter pill. That's a whole different medicinal note. So, like, there are different aspects to whiskeys, and there's different ways to arrive at that, whether that's peating or the aging. If you're aging it in a salt-rich environment, I think that can lead to a medicinal note. Laphroaig is weird because Laphroaig tends to hit a very medicinal note, but it's hard to tell where it comes from. Is that because of the smoke from the peat, or is that the way it's aged being on Islay? Because you don't necessarily find that same level of iodine in something like Lagavulin that's peated on Islay but aged on the mainland, right? Is that because they're using different peat, or is that because the aging is different? It's a tricky thing. And is it a phenolic note? Is it a salty note? How do we tell? It's a weird fucking thing, man. It's a weird fucking thing. I guess there's different types of phenols too, right? Like there is the petrochemically phenols, there are the medicinal phenols, and there are the smoky phenols. So they're not necessarily all one or the other. But like it's a strange thing because a whiskey can have all three or just one, or one and like earthiness, but that earthiness might not be related to the source that the phenols came from because it came from a totally different source. Like it came from the aging, not from the peating. It's fucking nutty, man. Basically, taste your shit and see if you like it because I can't tell you where the fuck it came from. Tom Edwards has got to run. Hey, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. I know. Well, I keep taking it. I'll take the fucking shirt off. I'll take the goddamn shirt off. All right. It's Rock Out After Dark. We're taking the shirt off. It's the peat. You think it uses an earthy peat with dirt and grass oils? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, is it only that? Because, like, certainly it is, the peated aspect is part of it. But the whole of Islay has heavy peat. So why wouldn't you get that same thing with Lagavulin? And as a counterpoint, why is Brook Laddie so much more salty smoked fish than Laphroaig? Because Lafroig is certainly peaty and super, super iodine-y, but Bruichladdich, the Port Charlotte stuff, certainly does beat it out in terms of pure, smoky, salted fishiness. I don't know. Hardbag drives their peat longer. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that because like Bunnahabhain's peated new make, which I will continually argue with Erica, whether it's pronounced the Scottish way or the Irish way. This is super peaty. This is super smoky. I don't know. That depends on the Kilchoman, though. That depends on the Kilchoman, right? Because the different Kilchomans, like 100% Islay Kilchoman is much more mellow, but it's also peated to a lower ppm, right? Also, we just lost like four viewers as soon as I took my shirt off. Go figure. But like the 100% Kilchoman is super lower peated, whereas like Kilchoman Makir Bay is a much higher peat, and it's more billowy smoke, but it's also different barley. I don't know. You know what? I forgot what you agreed with. I forgot what I said. Right? Bruichladdich is the quintessential smoked fish Islay. It really is. It really is. My opinion. I did say PP. That's fun. The Mona Bunnahabhain is very good. If Erica ever tells you it's pronounced Moina, she's wrong. And the bastardized anglicized Scots have gotten to her. It's pronounced Mona. All right. You know what we got to do at the end of the night, right? We got to make a blend. Name an unpeated Islay. I mean, base Bunnahabhain, right? It's unpeated. Like Bunnahabhain 12. I mean, doesn't Kalila also make an unpeated version? They do an unpeated version from time to time. Also, Bruichladdich, Classic Laddie. What are we counting as peated? Because like there's different. Some of them are unpeated, but there's a little bit of peat in there. You know what I mean? Like some of them are unpeated, but like there's a little bit either from the water or from the apparatus. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bruichladdich, Kalila, Bunna 12. Oh, I didn't know that. Learning something new every day. You'll never know, Charles. You'll never know. Late night. Tarps off, boys. Tarps off. Michael R. Oh, what's a good intro? 18-year-old Scotch that is non-peated. Who makes a good 18-year-old? Okay, let me think here. 18 is a weird age because I can think of a 21. I can think of a 16. Wow, shit. I was gonna say, fuck. What was I thinking? Because I'm trying to think. Who makes a good... I can't think of a good 18 off the top of my head. Because Aberlour makes a 16. Glenmoe makes a 21. Fuck. Anybody? Oh, the 17... Glenfarclas. Oh, does Glenmoe have an 18? I thought they only had the 14-21. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, Glenallachie. That's a good one. Benriach. There you go. Oh, Compass Box. I like Compass Box. Here's what I think about Compass Box. Compass Box makes excellent, subtle complex whiskeys. They do not make blow the top of your head off whiskeys. There are certain distilleries and blenders who make whiskeys that are made to rip the roof of your mouth off and beat you with it. Compass Box is not one of those. Compass Box is more of a subtle, it's a subtle blender of flavors, which fits their image. They are there to take various elements and put them together in an interesting way, right? Not so much. Oh, how did I forget the Allerdies? Allerdies is great. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, they're not so much about blasting your ass, right? And if you want your ass blasted, there are whiskeys that'll do that. Compass Box is not out to blast your ass. Compass Box is there to give you a curated, interesting look at a blend of different flavors. And if that's what you want, that's awesome. If you want something that'll just punch your fucking lights out, that's not Compass Box. Which Highland Park is 18 years? Is that the full volume? I thought full volume was 17. Yeah, that happens. Someone in the chat told me to take my shirt off and I did it. That's generally how it happens. They didn't even have to pay me this time. Hey, Bubble Bath! What's going on? Yeah, you did. Doop, 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 doop. Hello. We are Nips. Oh. Man, I don't get... I've been drinking too much. I'm sorry. Yeah, we definitely have entered After Dark mode. It's just what happens. It's just what happens. Who was I trying to think of before, though? I have a bottle over here. Oh, Mortlock. That's who I was thinking of. That's 19 years old, though. Not 18. That's Mortlock. John. Why do you do this to me, John? I thought we were friends. I thought we had an understanding. Okay, before I do that, though, I have to drink some of this regularly. And then I will. That's good shit. A blend of all of them is good shit. Although, as expected, that Brimstone PX, the Brimstone PX really takes over that blend. I get that even more. I get the smoke, but even more so, I get the banana. That banana really comes out. Yeah, nuance, but not ABV, for sure. How about Sazerac 18? JK paid 35 recently for a dram. Here's my thing about... I like BTAC. BTAC is good whiskey. But fuck BTAC. All right? George T. Stagg, one of the best bourbons ever. Better than Pappy. I will fight about that. Better than Pappy 15. Better than the 20. Maybe, depending on the batch, better than the 23. And I will fight a motherfucker about that. George C. Stagg's great. Thomas H. Hanley is a good rye. And Sazerac rye, yeah, it's okay. But fuck BTAC. Fuck Pappy. Fuck Weller. And fuck Blanton's. I am so sick of answering calls about that shit. Fucking assholes. Okay, I'm working on it. Jason says he owes me for the Cyberpunk. I liked Cyberpunk. The only problem is, where's my goddamn alert? The only problem with Cyberpunk was when I tried to stream it, my fucking computer crashed. Yeah, no, I liked Cyberpunk well enough. I think the story had some issues. I liked a lot of it. I liked the gameplay. I liked the environment. The story had some issues. Johnny Silverhand is a goddamn asshole, and I don't know why anyone would ever like him. I don't know why you would ever do Johnny Silverhand's ending, because he's a fucking douche. Like, seriously, I was rooting for the evil corporation at the end of it just because Johnny Silverhand was such a goddamn douchebag. Seriously. What a fucking douchebag. She would say, why are you the way you are? Probably. Hey, Tim C. Aww. Well, thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. I'm happy to hang out with y'all and do this. Yeah, no, you're right, Tim. Pappy 23 is... Here's the thing about Pappy 23. Pappy 23 is overrated. It's overhyped. It's over-talked about. And it's overly tannic. However, something can be overly hyped and good at the same time, I guess. It's good, but also doesn't live up to its thing. I don't know. But here's my thing about BTAC. Yeah, I don't... Oh, also, usually I would be doing an after-hours stream on our Patreon, but apparently this is the after-hours stream. We're just doing the after-hours stream, which is basically where I talk drunkenly at you, except now I'm doing it in public. So, if you're not on our Patreon, this is the kind of content you can expect every week, as long as I'm not knocked out on the floor. She was here earlier. She missed me without my shirt on. Right? That's weird. You'd think I would have had it off earlier. But yeah, no, here's my thing. I don't think BTAC is bad whiskey. I don't. They're all good whiskeys and they're all decent shit. If I have to like talk to one more fucking person about why I can't get them, William LaRue or whatever, it's going to drive me crazy. And people, listen, I know you guys aren't the culprits. I know you guys aren't the ones doing this. But people need to stop sending their fucking granny in trying to get them a birthday present of fucking allocated whiskey. I can't do it anymore. I can't have another old granny coming in asking me where the Blantons is, where the Pappy is, because they want to get it for their fucking grandson who told them he wanted it for Christmas or for his birthday or some horse shit. Stop. Please stop. I can't do it anymore. I can't break another grandmother's heart telling her that her grandson sent her off on a fucking wild goose chase. It's miserable. It's fucking miserable. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. No, the secondary price is asinine. Don't get me started on price gouging. And Fid, it's not just price gouging on the secondary. It's price gouging on the primary too. It's stupid. It is ridiculous because I'm not going to say shit, but it is fucking stupid the way people charge for shit. And it's not just people who are selling on the secondary. Although they are a bunch of fucking terrorists, it's also primary sellers, and it's ridiculous. Donner, I just called people on the secondary terrorists. Don't make me hate you. AJ, that is an inappropriate joke. That is an inappropriate joke, and I do not condone it. I do not condone it. There you go. There you go. Right. Well, that's part of the thing people don't understand. And that's something I've thought about with whiskey, the whiskey Illuminati, people who write articles about whiskey. They don't necessarily realize then when they're writing an article recommending something to the general populace, they don't necessarily realize that a lot of that populace doesn't have access to the whiskeys that they do, right? So when someone writes an article in the New York Times or, wherever, Wine and Spirits, a magazine or a website, and they say, you should get these whiskeys. These are the whiskeys that you should have. And it includes something like Blanton's. Blanton's, a fucking straight from the barrel, whatever. Some kind of allocated thing. Maybe that is relatively accessible for them. They think, hey, I'm doing people a favor by telling them to go get this. What they're not thinking about is that a lot of the markets that people are seeing that in are not the same market that they are talking about. Like if you're writing an article in New York, Miami, Las Vegas, or fucking Los Angeles, you have a selection of whiskeys that is completely fucking different from the ones that everybody else has. So the motherfuckers like us in Wisconsin and Ohio and wherever, we're never going to see that. You're never going to see that shit. And it's like you're telling people, go out and find this. But you're selling it to people in a primary market. You're not thinking about the people in the tertiary and the down the line markets. You're talking to people who can't get it and won't get it because distributors have decided that they're not going to sell to a tertiary market. It is what it is. Yeah. Yes. No. Here's the thing. Charles, I agree that, yes, most people won't climb Mount Everest. Although once people started writing about Mount Everest, every single motherfucker started climbing it and they trashed the place. Have you seen it? It's covered in trash at this point. But you can write about a whiskey, but once you start selling people false expectations about you're going to be able to get this whiskey. I saw an article recently where it's like, you don't have to wait outside the distillery to get Blanton's. You can probably find it at your local store. And I was like, no, you fucking can't. You can't. 95% of the country will not find it at the local store. Because, listen, our store, the store I work at, currently has a 5-year waiting list to get anything Blanton's. You have to wait half a decade based on our current allocation if you want to get a bottle of Blanton's. This isn't people climbing Mount Everest. This is people fucking climbing Alpha Centauri. This is people going to fucking space, flying light years, and fucking climbing an alien moon and punching Xenu in the dick. That is what we're talking about. That is as likely, you are more likely to do that in the next 2 to 3 years than you are to find a bottle of Blanton's at my store. Because it's scarce. Because it's scarce. And because people keep fucking talking about it. It doesn't matter that it's not good. That used to be the thing. I would go on vacation, I'd have a pour of Blanton's. I would just be like, whatever, fuck it. I'm in a bar, fuck it, I'll have a Blanton's. Because it's decent, I know it, whatever, fuck it. Not anymore. Not anymore. People have talked it up. People won't shut the fuck up about Buffalo Trace. And now you can't get fucking Blanton's to save your goddamn life. Yeah. It's fucking stupid. Go to a... Thank you, Dustin. I love you. Maybe by you, but it's not by... It's scarce as fuck by us. That's distribution for you. Because tertiary market, we don't see shit. We don't see Weller. You can get Buffalo Trace, you can get Eagle Rare, but you can't get Weller. You can't get Weller no matter how hard you try. Good luck getting Blanton's. Honestly, Fid, I have no idea. I've never sold one. I've never sold one to anyone. As soon as we get it, it goes to somebody who's on the wait list, which is 5 years fucking long. Maybe. It's not ending up here. Those 100,000 bottles, they're not ending up here. And I get it. I mean, that's distribution. That's the 3-tier system. We are all at the mercy of a 3-tier system that decides what we drink, or a government controlled system that decides what we drink. I don't know. Me, I'm a socialist in every other form of government. I'm a libertarian when it comes to liquor distribution. I would like to see that opened up. No, of course it's huge, but it's not equally distributed. It's not equally distributed. It's a big allocation, but guess where it's allocated to? Primary markets, which, if you are not in a primary market, you ain't getting shit. Fuck you. You could look, there might be 300 bottles of Blanton's on a shelf somewhere in wherever the fuck. Doesn't make a difference if it doesn't cross the borderline. 3-tier system, man. 3-tier system. Thank you. Thank you, Wesley. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. No, Scotch, you don't understand. Any Weller in the goddamn world. The last Weller I think I saw, we got 2 bottles of Weller Barrel Proof. Maybe? I think we got 2 bottles of Weller Barrel Proof. We haven't seen shit from Weller since then. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. That's part of it. Like, here's the thing. People, I think you guys are the kind of people who are decent human beings who only want a bottle or 2 for yourselves and your friends and family. Don't be one of these motherfuckers who is loading up on shit. Don't just load up on shit. Please. For the rest of us, like that's the reason we have a limit one per customer is to try and keep things available for everyone. It's not because we're trying to fuck you, it's because we just want more people to have access to it. Aw, hey, Mr. Whiskey Shits. Yeah, you did. See, there you go. Indiana, another tertiary market. You have primary markets, which are the big coastal cities, Miami, Las Vegas, Chicago. You got secondary markets, which, I mean, secondary cities are Cincinnati, what the fuck else? Houston, Dallas. A lot of Texas is actually, well, no, I guess Austin is a primary. Austin is probably a primary. Dallas and Houston are probably secondaries. The rest of the country, distributors don't give a shit about. Like after you leave the secondary level, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Because here's the thing, distributors don't give a shit about actually selling you like a fair amount of whiskey. They don't give a shit if you want to buy whiskey. They want to sell whiskey in hot spots because those are the people who buy a significant percentage of whiskey. Distributors don't want to sell you whiskey just because you want to buy it. They want to sell it to you because you live in a certain area that will buy a certain percentage of what they're selling. Maybe I got that backwards. Maybe it's Austin is a secondary and Houston is a primary. I don't care. I've been drinking. All right. I mean, I guess I could. If you want me to. If you really want me to. It's hard to cage the beast after it's been released, though. Okay, here's my thing. It has become so desperate, though, at this point. Like, and my store is not exempt from this. I sure hope my boss isn't watching. But my store is not exempt from this. We are trying to sell Old Charter based on the fact that it has the same mash bill as Buffalo Trace, right? That is what it's come to. People are desperate to find BT. I'm dead serious. Two of the biggest things that people ask for at my store are BT and Eagle Rare. And the thing is, we have to limit it. We have to limit it to one per. Because it's fucking allocated. I mean, I heard down in South Carolina, they had to start allocating ancient age. Like, what the fuck? I'm not, and you know what? I don't blame Buffalo Trace. I don't even blame Sazerac for this. I mean, to an extent, does Sazerac want their shit to be allocated because it drives up interest? Maybe. But I can't even blame them for it because it's not their hand that is driving the demand. It's distribution. At the end of the day, it's all distribution. And like I respect sales reps. I respect what you do. Like people who work for distributors are some of the hardest working motherfuckers I know. They put in the time, they put in the work. They fucking sell their shit. I got nothing against them. But you're working for what is essentially a state-mandated monopoly. Right? You're working for a state-mandated monopoly. The three-tier system creates this weird thing where you have to legally work through a distributor that makes a profit off limiting access to a product. And this is not a partisan issue. I think a socialist should be offended by this as much as a fucking libertarian, as much as an objectivist. This is offensive across the political spectrum in that you are having the state mandate certain people make a profit off of limiting a commodity. What the fuck is that? Oh, thank you, Fid. Have a good one now. Well, that's the thing. You also have to consider that the yeah, it is. But you have to get like part of it is like what amount of bottles go to a on-site cellar. There are more on-site cellars in Milwaukee than there are in Green Bay or in Manitowoc. So there are more people buying up on-site bottles to sell and limiting the amount that could be for primary off-site sellers in those markets. So what are you going to do? Two-bit, I don't even know where to start. This started with Balcones and it ended with me just ranting about the 3-tier system. It's been a weird night. I told y'all this was gonna get weird. I told y'all. Okay. Can we talk about the 3-tier system and why it's actually implemented in states? Can we? It isn't into the AM. Yes, you can buy one with Rot Gut Whiskey as your code right now if you wanted to. Paid promotion. Thank you, YouTube. But no, here's the thing about 3-tier systems. The reason they exist, right, is because of Prohibition. They were created after Prohibition as a way to limit the power of certain distillers, certain brewers, certain wineries, and keep them from distributing across the country. It's very much an antiquated, archaic system. So nowadays, the 3-tier system advocates are distributors who are saying, okay, we can't get rid of this system because our system limits underage drinking or it limits drunk driving or something like that, right? Except they never give any reason that the 3-tier system actually prevents that. They never do. They say, oh, the 3-tier system keeps liquor stores from selling to underage drinkers in some way, somehow, I guess. But it doesn't, because all of that is managed at the liquor store level. If I don't sell to an underage kid, it's because I checked an ID. It's because I fucking did the work to check on that motherfucker. It's not because I was limited by what I could sell, right? The entire system is based on the idea that you can't trust the producer. And in turn, that idea, the idea that you can't trust a producer to sell their own product, is based on, let's face it, ethnic bigotry. Because Prohibition was about keeping Irish and German distillers and brewers from selling their shit directly to the populace. The entire idea of Prohibition was propagated by the Ku Klux Klan, an Anglo-Saxon Protestant group who didn't want Irish and German Catholics to drink. Like, it's racist at its core. And this is a holdover of that period. Like, we've kept this in place simply because there are certain groups who are making money off of it and don't want it to go away. And at the root of it is a ridiculous, bigoted system that never actually represented the true majority of American people. All right, I'm done ranting. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Tom Lynch. I know, right? That's the thing I've always said is Catholic weddings are sadder than Catholic funerals because everyone gets drunk at the second one. Look, I've got nothing. This is a non-sectarian show. I've got nothing against Protestants, but the history of prohibition is rooted in white Anglo-Saxon Protestants refusing to acknowledge the cultural traditions of, of the Irish, the Germans, and the Mexicans who moved into the country. Like, the three-tier system is a product of that. Like, I know everyone doesn't like, oh, don't play the race card. Fuck you, all right? This is rooted in race, all right? The reason Prohibition passed was because certain elements of the white Protestant majority didn't want whiskey and beer being available to people of color, to Irish Catholics, to German Catholics. That's the facts. I mean, that's not sectarian. That's fucking history. Does anyone really want to be Puritan anymore? That's a great question. Actually, Balcones and Iron Root should definitely do a brandy. I would love to see a brandy from Iron Root in particular, because they've already got, I mean, what do they do? What's the term? The French technique where you add water slowly. It's, I don't remember it, but it means proofing down, like where you proof down in the barrel. I would love to see a brandy from Iron Root. And actually, I would love to see like a Texas aged brandy, just period, because I think it would make an amazing old fashioned. And like, we could make a fantastic old fashioned out of like a very treacly Texas aged brandy. That'd be fantastic. You know what? I haven't had it. Everyone's telling me I need to. Everyone has been telling me I need to. So, yeah. The boiling frog technique. Maybe not that name. Iron Root's making one, and Andalusia has one on the market. Nice. That would be nice. I dig it. I don't know. I feel like I went to confession enough times as a kid to make up for all the hypocrisy I'm saying now. So I think we're okay. I think Jesus owes me one at this point, honestly. Oh, I hope you I hope you didn't pay too much. I would have sent you some, my dude. Oh. Although I would have sent you some a week ago, except my old man drank it all. I gave the rest of my bottle to my old man, and he drank the entire thing. I give so I love my old man. I love my old man. And those of you who are old school Rot Gut fans, you know my old man. He's good people, but he is so funny. I give him like 10 good whiskeys, right? Like 10 or 12 good whiskeys. And then he'll drink like one or two of them, he'll finish them, he'll store the rest in the basement. And like I'll come over 2 months later and I'll be like, are you gonna finish this? Like, are you gonna finish? Like, no? Okay, well I guess I'm taking it back. I guess. I don't know. He's funny. He finds one or two whiskeys he really loves and then he just kills them. And unfortunately the JD was one of them. No, I dig it. I dig it, man. That is fantastic. It's really good. It's really good. Now, and I think the thing that makes JD Rye so good is that it kind of balances it balances a couple of points, right? It manages to be very spicy, very peppery, very clovey, but also have that wood sugary sweetness. And I think ryes that have mass appeal tend to do that. They tend to have just enough spiciness to be kind of a cinnamon, salted cinnamon flavor, but with enough sugar to make it seem like a cinnamon roll. And I think both of those do that very well. Rare Breed Rye and JD kind of have this sweet wood sugar element that makes it very, very, like very approachable, but with enough spice to make it interesting. If you know what I mean. Tim C is saying it's flavorful on the high end, but clean. It's hard to qualify, but the balance is the real greatness. I agree. No, I get what you're saying. I like it because it hits a lot of the spicy, dry notes that I really love in a whiskey. But I think the complexity comes from the fact that it is balanced out by a certain amount of like that kind of, I guess I would describe it as like, it's not caramel, but it's a certain amount of wood sugar heavy front end. I think the problem I had with Rare Breed is that it was too heavy on the wood sugar carameliness and didn't have enough of the clove, pepper, black licorice. And that's where JD kind of wins the day, is that it is caramely, it's sweet, it's got a little bit of that. However, it's balanced out with a nice heavy back end, which is that really nice vegetal clove pepperiness. So Nick Lovin is saying, would you rather have JDBP rye or Whistle Pig? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Here's my thing about Whistle Pig. All right, you ready? You ready for my rant about Whistle Pig? Because I'm about to go on a rant about fucking Whistle Pig. If you're ready. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh, Eli is saying honeyed citrus with back end spice and bite. Yeah, I would agree with that. The front end tends to carry more like of that sweetness, for sure. Okay, Michael. Oh shit, Michael R. We have the popular Everybody Poops. We have the less popular Everybody Poops But You. And it's concentrated evil coming out the back of you. Yeah. Oh, you're awesome. Okay. Let's talk about Whistle Pig. May we? May we real quick? The best Whistle Pig I ever had was Piggyback. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. It's Piggyback. 100%. The best Whistle Pig I have ever had in my life is Whistle Pig Piggyback. $60. I'm dead serious. And you want to know why? You want to know why I like Piggyback? Would you like to know why I enjoy drinking Piggyback? It's because it's fucking rye. It's because it's fucking rye whiskey. And I've had 10. I've had the Old World. I've had Boss Hog, Calvados. And I've had the 15. And you know what? Piggyback still wins. Because it's fucking rye. The reason that I like Piggyback is because it has everything a rye is supposed to. It's got clove. It's got black pepper. It's got the fucking black licorice. It's got the dill. It's got a little bit of the peachio. It's got a little bit of the vegetalness. And every time fucking Whistle Pig releases something that is 15 years or 20 years or 50 fucking years old, some shit that was finished in teak wood or jack off wood or motherfucking ass wood, I don't care. Every single time, it's not going to be as rye as Piggyback because they let it sit in the wood for way too long. And you can argue about this. You can say, I like a rye that's 16 years old, 20 years old, whatever the fuck. That's okay. I don't necessarily begrudge you that. But Whistle Pig has become a purveyor of an age statement. It's become a purveyor of a price tag, not a purveyor of actual rye whiskey. If you want rye whiskey, if you want true fucking rye whiskey, buy yourself some goddamn Piggyback. This is rye whiskey. It's 6 years old. It's got spice. It's got clove. It's got everything that a rye whiskey should have. It's going to kick your fucking ass, and it's going to stand up in a cocktail. You want to make a Manhattan with this motherfucker? Go for it. You make a Manhattan with that Calvados finish bullshit? It's going to taste like fucking ass. You want to know why? Because it's not fucking rye whiskey. It is what it is. Like, if you want to go out and buy some overpriced horse shit that says rye on the fucking label, you want to buy that shit? Go buy yourself some old ass whistle pick. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. If you like it though, whatever. This shit's better. This shit's better. I mean, you spend your money how you want. But I don't give a fuck if you finished it in goddamn Antarctican penguin wood. You're not going to make a better rye than what you got right here. Thank you, Thrasher. Well, okay, yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the thing about the fucking price gouging. If you are charging prices that are so high as to keep the secondary from raising them, then you're just being the secondary yourself. You're not saving anyone any money, right? Because we're gonna pay the same, whatever the fuck. We buy it from the secondary, we buy it from you, it's the same fucking price. And you're certainly not on the moral high ground, because guess what? You're still fucking making your goddamn money off of it. You're not. What? You're keeping someone else from making their money? You're just making the money yourself? I mean, I guess, but like, I don't give a fuck when it's coming out of my wallet. Who the fuck do I care it goes to? So basically, you're just showing up in my liquor store looking like an asshole. And for what? So no one go buy your shit and it'll sit on the shelf for 6 months until some dipshit comes in and buys it? Who gives a fuck? Right? Oh, no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Listen. I don't care who's doing the price gouging. I don't. Whether it's from a liquor store or from a secondary market person, some jagoff on Facebook. If you see that shit where someone's charging that much for it, where they're trying to make that much of a profit, fuck them. Fuck them. Oh, Dustin, you do like taking the shit, don't you? I mean, that's fair. But I mean, no, you've got a point. I'm not going to argue that. You've got a point. Like, it limits the buyers. I get that. You do have a point. But it's not the low prices, is it? It's not the low prices on Blanton's. It's the demand, right? Because we're not actually talking about an allocation of whiskey that's just because of low prices. We're talking about it because the demand is excessive to the market in which it is placed. That's the difference. And on the other hand, yeah, you have a distillery that is putting it over the top. I mean, but it's still price gouging. It's not allocated. Blanton's isn't allocated because of low prices. It's allocated because of a hype around the brand. A distillery prices it above that. The distillery, Whistlepig, prices it that high. It's still not going to move. That's the problem. You're price gouging at a point where it won't move. And it's not about the distillery doing that. It's about whoever does it. Whether it's distribution or at the front end with a shop. You're pricing it so high that no one will ever purchase it, or certain people will, simply because it is highly priced. It's a psychological tactic. Honestly, at this point, maybe. I had a woman tell me yesterday that she would wait 6 years to get a bottle of Blanton's. That's how excited people are for it. That's how excited people are for it. I don't know. I mean, probably within a year or two, with turnover. Well, I guess it depends. Do you like it depends on the type of rye you like, I guess. Because, I think Knob Creek rye does run a little bit more Kentucky rye. So, it's got more wood. It's got more sugar, less spice. But, yeah. I mean, it does. It does. But not to the extent that the high-end stuff does, right? The low-end stuff certainly does. I agree with you there. But the home stock stuff certainly does. The 12, the 10, it does. But my store has been sitting on 15 and the Boss Hog for so long, man. We have been sitting on that shit. We tried to sell it. We tried to do a special on it, and it won't move. It's... I don't know. I get your point, Dustin. I do. I just... It pisses me off either way. I don't know. The problem is not so much with a distillery. It's with distribution and the distribution pricing. I get that. But either way, it ends up fucking everyone who works either selling the shit or buying the shit. I don't know, man. I get your point. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have stopped trying to understand what the fuck is going on with pricing. Sometimes I think people are just putting up numbers. I really do. I think people are just putting up numbers and trying to see who will snap at it. Right? Because if you throw something up and it's taken, yeah, you made a buck. If it's not, you didn't lose anything. Yeah. I don't know, man. We are in a weird place. I have long since forgotten what the fuck this stream was about. I think we started drinking plantains. No, not plantains. I think we started drinking Balcones, and we have gotten to talking about plantains. And I'm just saying a bunch of shit. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think I'm going to call it a night because it has been a lot. You guys have a good evening. I will see you on the next one. Oh, fine, swags. Just a little bit. Just for you. Do that Balcones. Do the Balcones. Oh, jeez. I'm surprised we have this many people still tuning in. I figured all of you would have run away by now. For next week, well, here's the thing. I would actually like to ask your guys' opinions because we have two options. And this was something I was talking about with Erica. Either we can do, so next, April 10th is WrestleMania. And me and Erica love us some wrestling. So either next week we can do a WrestleMania stream where we do cocktails based on wrestlers. Or next week is also April 8th, which is the death day of Margaret Thatcher, which, as you may know, is kind of an important figure in this channel's history. So we can either do a WrestleMania stream or we can do a Margaret Thatcher Death Day stream. Whichever you prefer. You know it. Good night, Eli. Good to see you. Okay. Porque no lo steps. No, you're right. Okay, WrestleMania, Margaret Thatcher. All right, I guess we're doing both. It's happening. I guess it's happening. Hey, William, how you doing? Good to see you. Is that who said that? I don't actually know. I have no idea. I mostly know the bits where she said bad things about the Irish. Thatcher Mania. There we go. I like that. We might actually end up calling it that. That's a good name. Margaret Thatcher policy themed wrestler names. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all for dealing with the last half hour of me just yelling shit incoherently. I don't know if I actually said anything that made sense. I hope I did. I hope. I guess I'll find out on the replay. Sorry if I didn't. But until next time, I think we've accomplished that. We could do that more, but yeah. But until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope all of you stay happy, healthy, and safe. And until next time, stay rotten.